Hey, Facebook family and friends, this is Peter. Thanks so much for tuning in. Happy 2022. I know it's still early in the year, but I hope that you're blessed and healthy and things are going well for you. Just a brief cancer update right now. I was supposed to have a pretty easy December medically, and it didn't turn out to be that way. I've been struggling with a urinary tract infection for a few months and seems to be stubborn to many antibiotics. So I'm just in the middle of that. It has to do with practices that I've had to do as far as catheterizing and things like that. But I have a procedure planned for February 9th, and the infection needs to be cleared up for that. So I'm asking you to pray for healing for me with that. But in the meantime, in December, I had the stomach flu came on for 5 days. And right when I was done with that, I got COVID, which lasted quite some time. And that delayed my immunotherapy infusion, and I finally was able to do that after a week and a half later than what I should have had. So things were a little bit tougher. I still am going back and forth with that infection. I'm treating it right now, but I could use prayer for that. And the second thing I just want to mention is just on a personal note. I've been involved in a 12-step program now, going into my 8th year. A lot of times people say, but Peter, do you have a problem with drugs and alcohol? And I'll say, that's not my issue. I have other issues. But one thing that I've used the 12 step for is my cancer journey. And the first step talks about that I am powerless and so my life is unmanageable, that I can't control my universe. I can't control the cancer in me. And the second step talks about that I'm looking for my higher power, that I need Jesus Christ is my higher power. I need him to intervene. And then the third step talks about me turning my life and my will over to my higher power, who is Jesus Christ, that I do on a daily basis. But part and parcel of the cancer journey, I'm human and I'm wired with emotions, but are those tough emotions of fear, anger, and sadness? So I think one of the issues for me is how have I dealt with it over the past, I'm in my 17th year, 7 years with metastatic cancer, 15 surgeries, mostly major. I don't count procedures. Radiation treatment and chemo rinses and immunotherapy infusions, now going into my 5th year, and twice being told that to send me home and call hospice. That was Sloan 2015 and 2017. So you can imagine the fear, anger, and sadness. I mean, there's trauma involved in a lung cancer journey like that. There's grief, or just for anyone who's been diagnosed with anything like that, or anything that you're going through, experiencing trauma and also grief. And so for me, fear, anger, and sadness come with that. And how I deal with it is in a meditative way, ask myself and I ask the Lord, what's behind it? What's behind the fear, anger, and sadness? And then I say, well, I'm not going to camp out in those places. God, what do you have to say about that? And I spend intimate time with Jesus around those emotions. And I can tell you that he's delivered me joy and peace and healing and just hope and just wonderful things through this cancer journey. You can read about it. I have a book that I wrote back in 2019 and on Amazon. But for me, right now, the 12 steps, not only for the first 3 steps, but also the other steps talk about doing a fearless and moral inventory and confessing my stuff to God, myself, and others, and then making amends and all that. It's been a pathway to spiritual and emotional growth. And I know it's helped me physically too. And it's helped my whole spiritual and emotional outlook on just my journey and on life and on other things that I struggle with. And I just wanted to mention that to you. And I'll end with this, a verse that I like, where the disciples were trying to stop children from coming to see Jesus. And he said, but no, let the children come to me. Don't stop them, for the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are like these children. And I thought, well, how am I like a child? And it's true. In my cancer journey, I am dependent on Jesus. I'm dependent on him for everything, really, for life itself. But like a child is dependent on his or her parents for food and shelter and love and affirmation, all those things. The same thing for me is the fact that I am dependent on Jesus. And I just wanted to leave you with that word of what I do. And I would ask you for your prayers that this infection would clear up and I'd be able to get my procedure in the OR on February 9th. Thanks so much for listening. Bye now.